Pisces, you know the drill. October brings a whole new set of astrological energies your way that are going to affect you in specific ways. So in today's video, let's dive into your October of 2025 horoscope. Hello, my Pisces sun, moon, and rising, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we're talking about your sign's horoscope for October of 2025. In today's video specifically, I'm going to cover what may be coming up for you as major themes or priorities in the month of October, the major planetary transits for you to note in October of 2025 and how they're going to affect you, and practical tips, guidance, and recommendations for you, Pisces, to align to these transits to your benefit, what to do in the month of October. Now, quick note that I want to make before we get any further, this is not covering every single transit happening in October, because after doing the research for the astrology of this month ahead, there is so many things happening that to cover it all in one horoscope in one video for you would have been a 3-hour long horoscope. So these are really just the top tips and top transits that I recommend looking out for and noticing, so you get the consensus on what the general theme is and what you should really know. And if you want more details on those more minute transits such as sextiles, trines, and oppositions we have happening between the moon, Saturn, and so much more, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications, because every Sunday I publish a weekly forecast where I talk about all the transits for the week ahead. And of course, as well, if you want that more personalized, you can book a reading down in the description box below. But I want to get those offerings out of the way. We'll talk more about what you can do to work with me and my other offerings at the end of today's video if you like it. But let's get into your sign's horoscope without further ado. Starting off with, first and foremost, Pisces sun, moon, and or rising. What may be coming up for you in the month of October? And you will see over the screen, I created you a little summary of what exactly is going on in October that you can screenshot and save to your camera roll, or even what I recommend, pull this video up on your computer, screenshot it on your computer, and make it your desktop wallpaper so that you can remember the key dates, key things to do, key things to contemplate, and your overall mantra for the month of October for you, Pisces. But that over the screen has basically all the information that I'm going to touch on in mainly today's video, but especially in this segment, which is Pisces. Overall, I see that the month of October of 2025 for you is really about bringing your personal beliefs to your deeper relationships and finding meaning through your deep connections and trying to find a way to connect and be vulnerable and feel close to another through the sharing of personal beliefs, ideologies, and connecting on more spiritual or religious pursuits. This could also be potentially, in a way different interpretation for many Pisces sun, moon, and risings out there, is connecting with others through their travels. If you are someone who is traveling in the month of October, if you tend to travel a lot, if you have a vacation plan, you can expect some deep connection and deep bonding to be going on this month. Overall, this is Pisces. You're in 2025, specifically October of 2025. This is your month to really cultivate your connection to others through deep, meaningful conversations. Now, why exactly do I say all this? Why are your connections and your personal beliefs such a priority? It is because of the astrological transits that we're having happen in October of 2025. So let's get into the planetary and not so planetary transits happening astrologically in October of 2025, starting off with the most basic transit, which is the sun. As usual, for the month of October, the sun will be in Libra for the first 21 days of the month, and then on the 22nd or 23rd, I believe, enter the sign of Scorpio. Wherever the sun transits, this tells us where we may want to prioritize our energy and put a priority on in general. Just as we have a growing season for different plants, fruits, and vegetables, we have different growing seasons for the areas of our life. And so Pisces sun, moon, and rising, October is your annual time to focus on your relationships to others and your relationship to your personal beliefs. With the sun in Libra, this activates your 8th house energy. And what that means is that you're seeking Libra themes of cooperation, balance, harmony, and fairness and connection in your 8th house, your area of life, which is your intimate relationships. Now, the 8th house plays out a bit differently for everyone, so I invite you to, in a minute, pause this video. I want to give you a group of words and think about which one resonates the most for you, because the 8th house can be so many different things. Do you have someone who you're financially dependent on or who is financially dependent on you? Do you have someone you're emotionally very close to in your life or you feel like you're very vulnerable with? Are you in an intimate relationship where you live together, share physically, mentally, and or emotionally? There tends to be sometimes one of these that resonates more than the other. And it's important to note that because that is the relationship that is going to be highlighted in the first 21 days of October. The sun transiting Libra for you invites you to prioritize more connection and harmony in any codependent relationships you have and what your expectations are of these codependent relationships. So this is about defining what closeness means with another and also focusing on our already present close relationships. And this could be a close, intimate, romantic relationship. This could be a close platonic relationship where you guys feel like there's something shared, or this could be a close financial relationship, someone who you're financially dependent on, someone or the other way around, dependent on you. The most common interpretation I hear in modern day society for 8th house energy is someone who's financially dependent on you. In cases of divorces or marriages or relationships where someone's moving all the furniture around upstairs. It sounds like it's an exciting thing. And so for you, Pisces, to get back to your point, the first 21 days of the month highlights your priority of saying, how do I refine these relationships? How can I make these relationships feel harmonious and connected? And again, could be romantic, could be platonic, could be just financially joint assets or joint assets in some form or fashion. Then when the sun shifts into the sign of Scorpio, your focus turns towards your personal beliefs and ideologies more. From the 21st onward with Scorpio season, this is your annual time of year to focus on, what do I believe? How does this make me feel meaningful? How does this connect me to a deeper aspect of life? How does this give me a sense that life is something to be immersed in? You're wanting to get more invested, investigate your personal beliefs, your ideologies, what you believe in, the things that you choose to believe specifically that shape how you move through the world. So in some examples, the most obvious interpretation of this is focusing on your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs. But this could be more minute. This could be more like a life philosophy or even a motto that you're telling yourself that you take through life. Those are personal beliefs. Even diet plans are a form of personal belief because you're doing it because you believe in it as a personal individual. And that could be associated with your religion, that could be associated with a spiritual practice, but it's because you're personally choosing to take it on. So your personal beliefs and ideologies will be more in focus in the second half of the month with Scorpio season, but I do see these two areas of life for you, Pisces, merging into more of one. They are very correlated in that not only during Scorpio season are you going to be focused already on your personal beliefs, ideologies, maybe even wanting to travel more, travel with those you feel close with because this is depth energy in the 9th house of travel, but during Libra season, we have quite a bit of Scorpio energy still present. So I want to talk about those energies next. Mercury hangs out in the sign of Scorpio from the 6th to the 29th of October. And additionally, Mars is going to be here in Scorpio the entire month. So we have two planets hanging out additionally in the sign of Scorpio this month of October of 2025. And what this really indicates is that your mental energy and physical energy wants to be channeled into some form of discovering and exploring your personal beliefs and ideologies, as well as maybe even traveling this month. And given that these energies of Scorpio are happening during Libra season, I see that for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're wanting to cultivate your intimate relationships on the basis of communicating your personal beliefs and traveling and being an explorer. This is whenever we're talking about Scorpio energy for you, this is about deepening your perspectives and broadening your horizons. Now, if you think broadening your horizons, that can be a physical journey through travels, vacations, going new places, or this could be a mental journey, such as playing with your beliefs, going to a workshop, attending a course, reading a new book on philosophy. It could be numerous different things, but nonetheless, there's a desire to explore. And so this month, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you are wanting to explore. You're wanting to do things that promote exploration in some form, but also talk about your explorations. You want to connect with people on the basis of personal beliefs, on perspectives, on philosophies, and maybe even just simply put, having deeper conversations, especially because this is Scorpio energy. So this is about deep, meaningful, connected conversations about deeper life topics, which frankly, I'm a little bit jealous of. I love those kind of conversations. So this is a very positive month for your conversations, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising with others. And given that this is coinciding with Libra energies, this tells me that your personal beliefs are something to be explored alongside your intimate relationships and how you seek connection and harmony and balance in these relationships. Additionally, in the last few days of the month, from the 29th onward, Mercury will be in the sign of Sagittarius. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, your mental focus will shift away from directing all this mental energy into your personal beliefs and conversations and more towards your career. So this will be the beginning of the phase of you focusing more on your career and recognition. And the last Scorpio energy I want to touch on is that Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio. Now, Black Moon Lilith has been in Scorpio for some time, but it's especially important, in my view, to note astrologically for the month of October because of how many Scorpio energies we're going to have present as well. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, here's what I see for you. I see that October is a really great month to promote deep conversation and connection with another, to connect with new people on the basis of your personal beliefs and your desire to explore either physically or mentally. But also there may be some form of fear of rejection or fear of being too much that comes up here as well. That is because Black Moon Lilith represents the traits and qualities we feel ashamed of because we think they're going to lead to our rejection. With Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio, this revolves for everyone around a story of being too much. If you want to learn more about Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio, if this is your natal placement, I have a video talking about Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio and a video on Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio through the houses. So if you know your specific Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio placement, you can check that out as well. But point being, with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio this month, this is a great month to do major healing work in regards to your fear of being too much or fear of being rejected, maybe because you enjoy or crave deep conversations. Naturally, whether you're a Pisces Sun, Moon, and or Rising, to some degree, these Piscean placements crave harmony and yet more lighthearted spiritual conversation to some degree. They want to feel like people are on the same wavelength. And so this month already brings up a desire for you, Pisces, to be on the same wavelength with others in a harmonious way, but also in a deep way. And so you may be finding that you're really challenging your fear of losing harmony to create better harmony. It is interesting because Pisces and Libra kind of both bring up this theme of harmony. They both have a bit of a conflict avoidance mechanism. Not to say that you have to have these placements to have this, but there's an interesting dynamic here for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Risings to really confront emotional fears and beliefs around what they are allowed to do and not allowed to do this month in order to liberate themselves and bring themselves that deeper connection that they crave. And additionally, because the infographic was just over a screen a minute ago and mentioned this transit, the North Node is still in Pisces this month. Therefore, the South Node is still transiting Virgo. The nodes of fate, as simply referred to, are halfway through their cycle. They will be in these signs for 9 more months. And so Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you guys are still really going through the ringer and being called to grow unlike ever before, at least in the last 18 years. And so keep that in mind that you're still in a very intense cocoon to butterfly or metamorphosis phase. And if you want to know more of what exactly this North Node in Pisces is bringing up, please check out your Pisces 2025 yearly horoscope that I made. It's on my playlist, 2025 horoscopes. But point being, because the North Node and South Node are still here, you may be finding that there's still this undercurrent theme of initiating further independence and releasing unhealthy habits in your relationships. And again, per usual, as we have every single month, we will have our full moon and our new moon. The full moon will happen in the sign of Aries on the 6th of October, active therefore from the 3rd to the 9th. And then we will have a new moon in Libra on the 21st, therefore active from the 18th to the 24th. with this new full moon in Aries and with this new moon in Libra, this is highlighting your dynamic between codependency and independence, letting other people lean on you and you leaning on other people and you having your own form of self-sufficiency. In other words, this could be intimate relationships and finances, but this has to do with the dynamic of how do I share the load with other people, and how do I let people share the load with me, and where do I want that line to be between self-sufficiency and codependency. So on the full moon in Aries in particular, this is bringing you fulfillments to your self-sufficiency, self-worth, finances, and self-security, things that you've probably been working on for both 2 weeks and 6 months. Things that you maybe have majorly worked on for the last even couple of years. Reason I say that, solar eclipse was in Aries on the 27th of March of 2025, but this was the final one of a 2-year set of eclipses roughly in the sign of Aries, as well as in Libra. And so with this solar eclipse in Aries tying into the energies of this full moon closes out the cycle of that eclipse energy. And on top of it, this full moon closes out the eclipse portal that was active all of September and in the last 2 weeks of August. So this is a big moment of closure, a big moment of revelation, a big moment of fulfillment where many Pisces and sun, moon, and risings could in one interpretation be receiving material reward, financial reward, hitting that point of saying, I'm finally financially sufficient enough, or I'm finally emotionally sufficient enough to hold myself on my own. Additionally, this could be letting go of biased thoughts and feelings in regards to this topic, saying, you know what, I don't need to think this way anymore. I don't need to push people away in this regard because I know what true self-sufficiency means. And that is the core of this lunation. You're realizing what self-sufficiency means and you're getting to embody it, Pisces. Then, now that you've had this fulfillment in your self-sufficiency second house, the new moon in Libra invites you to initiate a new beginning in your intimate relationships. How do you relate to others? How do you lean on others? How do people lean on you? What is your ideal example of codependency? I love talking about the 8th house and the fact that it gets at this concept of codependency. Not saying that codependency is healthy, but there's always a point in life we hit with people where we share. We share physically, mentally, emotionally, or financially. We even share space. And given that, what are your expectations? You're going to be questioning those expectations and setting into motion something new here around the 21st of October with this new moon in Libra. Final transit I want to note is that Venus enters the sign of Libra on the 13th and is transiting Virgo in the first 12 days roughly of October. So with Venus in Virgo and in Libra, this is where you can find your love life and your love for life. This is you focusing on your already present one-on-one relationship dynamics and your intimate relationships. I will say that Pisces, if you're looking for love, Venus in Virgo is really the best for you. Venus has been in Virgo, I want to say, as of September 19th, which is a 24-day period. And this is the best time for your love life because Venus, the planet of love, is in your 7th house of relationships, making you attractive to those seeking relationships and attracting you relationships as it transits the house of relationships. This is also really great though for friendships. And so simply put, if you're not a Pisces looking for love this month, Venus in Virgo says that you can feel a greater love for life the more you focus on selfless one-on-one service to others, focusing on connecting with other people in stable ways in one-on-one setting. And when Venus enters the sign of Libra, this brings back that desire to connect with people in harmonious ways in more intimate settings and define where you want things to be shared and when you want them to be separate. Now, additionally, based off of my research, from what I recall, Neptune, your planetary ruler, is stationing retrograde this month, but that is going to be for a later video. We're not going to talk about that much, especially because I personally see it as a more collective planet. And so when Neptune goes retrograde, we'll talk about that more. Maybe you're feeling a slowdown of energy, Pisces, around the 22nd of October, but we'll talk about that more in a later video. If you feel like that you really resonate and relate and feel Neptune's transits, comment below. So with that all in mind, what do I recommend to my Pisces sun, moon, and risings to align with the energies of October? And I'm going to keep this very brief, very simple, because I think it can be. Overall, Pisces sun, moon, and rising, you have strong 8th and 9th house energies with Libra and Scorpio, which are all focused on connection. And so I would first start off with asking yourself, Pisces, who are the people you like to connect with? And if that list is very small or maybe inexistent, ask yourself, what are the restrictions I put on myself, the I shouldn't do's, I can't say's in conversation? How could you open yourself up this month to being more honest, authentic, and vulnerable in conversation? I think conversations are extremely highlighted for you, Pisces, especially in more intimate relationships and close friendships. So paying attention to those conversations and trying to be more honest, having the courage to maybe be a bit too much is really big for you this month. Additionally, with there simply being a lot of 8th house and 9th house energy, so prioritizing your connections, prioritizing intimate relationships, working through conflicts potentially with your codependent relationships of any kind, and maybe pursuing personal beliefs, travels, and explorations could be very rewarding this month. If you have the opportunity to travel, travel could be very recommended this month, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And if you're not the travel type, discovering your personal beliefs and ideologies, going to spiritual workshops, going to church, reading books on philosophy or personal beliefs, cultivating your personal beliefs in any form and doing education on that could be extremely rewarding this month. Those would be the top recommendations for Pisces that I would recommend this month. Now, these did come from my list that I put over the screen with your little desktop wallpaper that I made. So if you want more tips and recommendations, I invite you to go back and screenshot that. And if it's too blurry for you to read, I will be sending these out on the 1st of the month and throughout the month on my newsletter. And you can join the newsletter down in the description box below. Additionally, with that said and done, with that all in mind, I do send out weekly forecasts and monthly forecasts on my newsletter. So if you found yourself screenshotting all these transits and you're wanting to just have these key takeaways, not on your camera roll, but instead in your email inbox, if you want to see the written form, then I invite you to join the newsletter down in the description box below. Tell me down in the comments below, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Are you a Pisces Sun, Moon, and or Rising? Did this resonate for you? What intentions are you setting for the month of October? What are you hoping to manifest? What are you working on? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you want to get more information on how exactly this month will play out for you based off of your unique birth chart, then I invite you to book a reading down in the description box below, where in 1 hour we can dive deep into your soul's unique energetic imprint and how you are being affected by the stars of October and how you can actually use these transits to call in what you desire. Whether you want to cover every single transit that I did and didn't cover in today's horoscope, or if you just want to know which transits are truly most important to you based off of your chart, these readings are for you. Sky's the limit. Learn more about readings down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel. From my heart to yours, namaste.